We're staging for another half hour of nitro-fueled NHRA talk. It's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts with Marty Huff and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here's your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is The Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for being here for our half hour of horsepower. Appreciate you being with us. Antron Brown clinched his third Top Fuel Championship at the Strip in Las Vegas, and we'll talk to the back-to-back champ. We're in the beams and set to launch another edition of The Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast, around the world, this is The Straight Line on Drag Racing here on MRN.com. My name is Marty Huff here in the Concord, North Carolina studios of the Motor Racing Network. And joining us right now on the telephone line across the country here in just a couple of minutes, we will catch up with our four-time IHRA Top Fuel Champion and 10-time NHRA National Event winner, Doug Herbert. He is working the SEMA show and doing all sorts of stuff. Of course, SEMA, the aftermarket, automotive aftermarket show, and one of the biggest shows in Las Vegas. And Doug has been out there for the last couple of days and doing a lot of stuff for brakes and for some of the other projects that he is involved in. And we'll bring him in just a couple of minutes here to talk about his experience here in Las Vegas and what is going on. And right now, let's bring him in as we speak. There in Las Vegas is Doug Herbert. Are you with us, Herbert?
Hey, yep, I'm with you. I'm from the here in Vegas from the 50th annual SEMA show. Checking things out over here. We got an incredible, high performance show in SEMA, and of course, a lot of the racers are here because the drag races were here last weekend. So I got the inside scoop on a couple little things there.
Nice.
And yeah, man, we're excited.
Now, you've done quite a bit of this stuff. Of course, we're keeping up with you on social media. I believe Clay Millican, where you were hanging out at some point during the week.
Yeah, Clay and I did an interview yesterday with Performance Media Group, and that was a pretty neat deal. And talked a little bit about brakes being over there in Memphis and going back to Memphis again this year. So we're excited about that. Clay's excited about that. So that's cool. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you and
Sorry
me are
that.
both.
I'm not dying over here, I promise.
Yeah, well, you and me are about on the same page, so it's probably a good thing that you're not in the studio here because we'd be filling this place up full of germs here because I'm about the same thing. I've been a coughing, wheezing mess here for the last couple of days.
Oh no.
Yeah, it happens. Knoxville coming up for breaks, going back to Tennessee. So I mean, between the Memphis show and Knoxville and a couple of other places.
I actually fly back. Mimi and I fly back tomorrow. We hop on another plane, go to Detroit for a Hazel Park, Detroit suburb break school this weekend, and then we've got the one coming up over there in Knoxville, and that's in memory of Mike Pacer, one of my board members.
Sure.
Probably Dick Pacer.
Sure.
His son got killed in a car crash years ago as well.
Yep.
And so, we're going around trying to make other teenagers safe because we don't want them to be a memory. We want them to be here.
Yeah, and no question about that. Hey, let's talk a little bit about Las Vegas and what happened actually afterwards. And going into Pomona, 3 of the 4 pro categories still yet to be decided. Of course, Antron Brown will join us here in just a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about his Top Fuel Championship. But funny car, pro stock, and bikes still yet to be decided. The pro stocks are really close, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But we'll start with funny car because the most intriguing story, maybe of this whole entire year, is that Ron Capps is on the verge of winning his very first funny car championship, 86 points out. Qualifying is going to get really dicey for those guys.
Oh, it really is. It's going to be important. And, Capps has led the points most of the year. He and his crew chief, Ron Tobler, that Napa team, they do a really good job. And with a 86-point lead over Matt Hagan going into Pomona, I think about the best chance anybody else has is if Cabs doesn't show up to the racetrack for some reason, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not. No.
I think pretty good looking for Cabs and that team. I don't see how that could get stolen away from him this year.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. He's 86 points up now. If Hagan can somehow whittle that down to 80 or fewer, then things can get a little more dicey. Obviously, 80 points or 20 points per round, 4 rounds in a race.
So Cabs has to. So what has to happen? Hagan has to gain 6 points on Cabs during qualifying, which
Correct.
is going to be hard because Cabs' car runs well. And then Cabs has to lose first round, and Hagan has to win. Now, it's not saying it can't happen because we've seen it happen before, but that's a little bit slim, I would say.
I would think so, too. Here's something that we agree on, and we've been talking about it all year long, and it's going to come down to the possibility of it happening at Pomona in any of those categories is now a world record will not count for points. Boy, if somebody was able to set a world record, that really, really changes the way things would work in any of those 3 categories. But that's a non-factor anymore.
I don't know that I like that. I
don't either.
Part of the thing with being a champion is being rewarded for your performance, and setting a record is part of that. I think so. I don't know I don't agree with that, but. You know what? We don't make the rules up either. Hey, how about one thing I wanted to talk about real quick?
Sure.
My buddy yesterday talking to Clay Milliken, number 1 qualifier over here in Las Vegas with that 368 run and low ET of the race. So that was pretty awesome. I was proud of him for that.
Yep, and that's the second time that he has been the number 1 qualifier, and things really have begun to. After a slow middle of the season, they started off pretty well, and then it kind of dipped there. But at the end of the season, those guys really kind of figured things out. And 2017 looks really bright for Clay Milliken and those guys.
Well, I think so. He's over here. I was talking to him yesterday about the Parts Plus thing and the great clips. All of his sponsors are coming back, and they're really enthused about what's going on. So he didn't say this, but I'm guessing that means their financial support's going to continue and improve. And you know what? That is really good. That's what that team needs. I think that David Grubnick and Lance Larson and those guys that run that car are doing a super job. Yeah. And Grubnick can get the job done.
Yeah,
he's proven that here the last few races. So they're close. They're close to being able to take a win home. Maybe Pomona would be a good place for that.
Pro Stock down to 19 points entering the weekend. So obviously qualifying is going to be huge for Greg Anderson and Jason Line. They are the only 2 eligible to win the Pro Stock Championship. Now, if Greg Anderson can keep it within 19 or even under that, that means that it's under 1 round. If Jason Line can get it over 20 or over, then Greg has to go 1 more round than Jason. If it's under 20, the whole championship could come down to 1 run, the finals at Pomona, which would be incredible.
Yeah, coming down to the finals at Pomona, that would be awesome. And I think if you asked either one of those guys, they would say that it would be awesome too. They're both KB racing teams, so Ken Black owns both those cars. It's not like we're either one of them wins. I mean, there's going to be a little gnashing teeth by the other guy, but it's not going to be anything like another team coming in and taking their championship from them. And they really have been the class of the field
they deserved it
all year. So I don't think that it's I don't think there's anything anybody can say about it. They whipped everybody pretty much almost all year.
And these guys have been around long enough, and they know the drill. So I would really love to be a fly on the wall at KB Racing at Pomona just to see what the head games are like between those two, and just kind of little subtle hints or whatever, trying to get in, maybe get into their heads, because what's going to happen. It's not like they're just trying to throw them off or whatever, but they're big boys. They know how to handle themselves.
They're big boys. Yeah, they know how to handle it. They're friends. They're good friends.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well. So I think. There's not going to be anything funny going on there. They're going to be tough if they have to race each other.
Yeah,
they're going to be tough on each other. everybody else that they race, they're going to be tough on too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a good deal coming down in Pomona, but for the pro stockers, there's no doubt that it's down to those two guys. That's for sure. It's not a big mystery. Now the bike's a whole different deal, right?
Yes.
With Hines, Krawick, and then Jerry Savoy coming up with that win over here, 3 points back. I'll tell you what, Jerry could pull it off. A couple weeks ago, I almost wrote everybody off except for the Harleys. That was a mistake.
Jerry Savoy. I don't think there's any question that Jerry, over the last 3 races, has had the best bike on the property. You just look at the numbers, and there's no question about that. And I don't expect that to change going into Pomona. So right now it's going to be a dogfight for all the little points that they can get. And then once they get into eliminations on Sunday, holy moly, I mean, it's just going to be one haymaker after another.
Right. That's going to be a fight. That'll be the one that I'm interested in seeing what happens. And we've said it before. I think those Harley guys, they always seem to be able to pull something out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This last weekend in Vegas, Jerry Savoy had low ET and top speed. I don't know that the Harleys were holding much back for that. So that's he's not in a bad spot.
Nope, absolutely not. All right, my friend. Good luck at the rest of the SEMA show. Have fun out there. I know you're going to have fun in Las Vegas. I mean, that goes without saying.
We've been doing a lot of work, but we've been doing a lot of having a little bit of fun visiting over here.
No kidding.
I've got a niece that lives over here and some friends that live over here.
Nice.
Tonight we're going to go maybe see a show or something. So all work during the day and maybe a little bit of play during the night.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less. That's Doug Herbert, and we will see you next week back here in the studios.
You got it, buddy.
Doug Herbert joining us on the telephone line from the SEMA show in Las Vegas. And when we return, we will talk to the back-to-back and now 3-time Top Fuel World Champion Antron Brown joins us next.
This is The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll have more for you right after this.
If it's time to replace your vehicle's headlights, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts See Better, Drive Safer sale for a twin pack of Sylvania Silver Star Ultra headlights and get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. See farther and more clearly with Silver Star headlights at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dale Jr. here. I wear Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans for any occasion. With new styles and great fits, you'll look good and feel comfortable no matter where you are.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans are designed to keep up with you no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you, so you can go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable all day long.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans, the most comfortable jeans you will ever wear. Try on a pair today.
Wrangler, be comfortable.
Race fans, you know there's nothing like the power, excitement, and sounds of NASCAR. Ever wonder what it would be like to strap yourself in the seat of an authentic NASCAR race car? You can do it at the Richard Petty Driving Experience. Ride along or drive yourself at one of 15 tracks nationwide. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit online at drivepetty.com. Richard Petty Driving Experience. It's authentic NASCAR entertainment. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit drivepetty.com to reserve your experience.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Big thanks to Doug Herbert for joining us here on The Straight Line. Of course, he's one of the busiest guys I know out in Las Vegas, and he will be back here in the studio next week. But joining us on the telephone line right now is the driver of the Matco Tools Top Fuel dragster, now 3-time champion, back-to-back as well. Antron Brown joins us. Antron, congratulations. Another championship. Again, just congratulations.
Marty, thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. It's I tell you what, brother, it hasn't sunk in all the way.
Right.
Because I'm still can't believe that we actually won a championship before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Now people are going 3-time world champs in Matco Tools US Army Toyota team. I'm just like, man, that sounds right. But is that real? And all my boys look at me and say, it's real. It's real. So it's just so sweet, and I couldn't be more happier. am more stoked just to be a part of this incredible team and non-Schumacher racing organization that I've been a part of for most of all my career in this sport. And it's been tremendous just to get in there, man, get part of those history books and be mentioned among the greats, man. It's pretty awesome, man. Really awesome.
These last two here, 2015, 2016, far less drama than the first one. Clinching it early both times at Las Vegas. That first one, you had to sweat that one out. What are the after that first one, and now being able to win two more after that? Is there any difference in the feeling once you put that jacket on and they give you the big trophy?
No, the feeling just gets a lot better, because the one thing is that when you do it the first time, like you're like, all right, we made it. We squeezed up here. We got some of this here. We got lucky here. But what happens is you learn how to do it. You learn how to make it happen as a team. And then once you get that formula, it's like you know the work that's ahead of you and what you have to do. And now we're able to go out and try to execute that every year. But you know that the game's not going to be the same, that it changes every year because the competition level rises. It gets more and more ridiculous each and every year on the competition level. So once you get it done next year, you're like, man, we got another one. And you know that you just did an incredible feat because you had to raise the bar that much more to make it happen again. And that's why we look at each other and say, man, we just did something that's phenomenal again. And that's what makes it so special each and every time.
7 final round appearances this year, 7 wins in total. We're not done with the season, but I think the amazing number here is 51 round wins. And again, we still got one race to go. 51 rounds. I mean, not only are you taking home wins, but man, you are going rounds.
Marty, that is the key, man. You said the key. That's the key element. And I mean, every racer out there gets nervous, but nobody wants to lose first round, brother.
Boy.
Nobody. And that's the thing, is that we've been fortunate enough to only lose first round a couple of times this year. And each time that we lost, it's like we didn't take it like, oh, it was just a bad race. We went back and even worked harder. After every defeat that we had this year, we go back and we assess what we've done wrong, and we improved upon it. We didn't go up there and say, okay, that's just a bad race. We'll go to the next race and try hard. Well, the thing about it is the key to success and the formula for it is not just to say we just lost, but to figure out the problem why we lost, work on those issues so you can come back and be better and be stronger. And to be successful out there in any million drag racing right now is that a lot of teams work hard, but the difference of it is like, how do you set yourself apart from the other ones? And that is when you make a mistake, analyze the mistake, break it down, and you work hard so you don't make the same mistakes twice. Because when you do, you're on the outside looking in. And that's what happened to us in the countdown this year, is that we literally made one mistake where we qualified bad in St. Louis, and we could have beat almost anybody else except for Langdon, who we raced first round, and I think Dougie, and we could have beat anybody else that round except for those two. But we raced Langdon, and we lost. And we came back to what we have to do to be better. And Bryant, Karate, my crew chief, and Mark, and Brad and the rest of the guys, they looked at each other and said, you know what? We just got to qualify better. We got to work on that, and that's what we worked on. We sat after and tested, and we came out the last races so far. We qualified in the top 5, and we took it. We've been taking it from there and just going out there and executing what we want to do, and it's been working out to our game plan to give us the success that we have so far.
Last couple of years, you've made a living off of those first 3 races in the countdown. This year was Charlotte, Reading, and Dallas, and getting wins out of those, and then just being able to have a little bit of a cushion there. It's not like you're playing defense, but if having a cushion in there is not a bad thing as well. But just kind of talk about in these first 2, or in the last 2 years, having a really, really strong beginning to the countdown?
Well, that's key. That you said it right there. Is because when you break the countdown down, okay, you got 24 rounds of racing. 6 races times 4 rounds of point rounds. Okay, that's all you have. That's all you got. So the thing about it is that you want to take as many rounds as you can, and that's our strategy. That's everybody's strategy. You want to go out there and you just win, and everything else takes care of itself. Well, it's not just that easily put, but you have to get yourself in the right places, qualify well, so you give yourself a better shot at it. Not saying that you can just go out there and win easy. You give yourself a better shot because you always got to race somebody tough, because we've done it where we qualified bad in St. Louis, and we lined up against Sean, who was like the number 2 qualifier, or not number 2, number 6 or 5 or 3 qualifier or something like that, and we had to race him first round.
Yeah.
And then when we raced him, we gave him a final round matchup the first round that he could have lost, but we ended up losing. And that's the trick to it, is to go out there, and you got to keep your head down. And when you get off to those great starts, it takes a lot of rounds away. When we came in number 1, and then we screwed up, and then we were within like 10 points of Doug after St. Louis, but then just that easy where you come out, you can look back where you see, all right, well, we have to do this next race. We got to go out here and we got to try to win. And fortunate enough, we won, and they gave us another cushion back in front of Doug of like 77 points. So that's the trend, is like, if you have a great race, it sets you up in the countdown to do well. But if you have a bad race, it takes everything away, where everybody's just so tight again, where it's anybody's game, and you just got to be able to try to repeat that performance, like multiple races. Because if you do that, then you set yourself up to have success, to have a chance to win a championship by the last race. And that's always our game plan, is to be there at the end. We don't plan and say, okay, well, we're going to get this point lead and finish off in Vegas.
Yeah.
We just race every race like it's our last race, and let the chips fall where they fall. And if you could end it early, that's everybody's dream, because you go in there and you're like, the pressure's off now.
Yeah.
But that's not like something that we say, oh, this is what we're going to do. No, it just happens that way, and we get fortunate for the things to fall that way for us to make that happen.
Now, you're not headed to Pomona to play patty cake either. You've got something on your plate that you may be able to accomplish, and that's 8 wins in a season. You've never done that, so you're not going to head over to Pomona and just kind of, as Erica says it best, we ain't coming just to visit. You're coming in there to kill.
No, we're not coming there just to show up.
Yeah.
Trust me. If our truck gets unloaded off our race truck, that means we're there to race, brother. And it's going to be head down. And last year we were close. We lost to Sean. Yeah, that name just keeps on sounding familiar. Every time I say something I lose to Sean, right? So we lost to Sean there last year in the final by like 3,000 or 4,000. And we could have won last year and had 8 wins. But this year, first you got to get to that final before you can even talk about it. So we got to go out there and do a great job in qualifying, and that's the game plan, and take it one round at a time and see where we end up at. But I can tell you one thing, is that we're just going to go out there and we're going to race hard. We're going to race hard. We have nothing to lose. Nothing like that. Ain't no strategic where you got to be safe to get down track to get round win.
Yeah.
We can go out there and go out there and just put our foot down hard, and turn those good gears. And the weather's going to be good in Pomona, so the track's going to be phenomenal, where we can go out there and really, really get after it. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is going out with this last race, and it's going to be pedal down, nitro. We have some stank in the tank, and have it lit up and go as hard and as fast and as quick as we can.
You've told us this story a couple of different times, and I know you've told other members of the media. But that kid who showed up at English Town to watch his first drag race and saw Big Daddy's blow over and was just stunned by it and knew that he wanted to be in drag racing in some way, shape, or form. Could you ever imagine, Antron, watching all of that at English Town way back in the day, that we'd be sitting here talking about being a 3-time champion?
I mean, it's just not real, man. It's just like one of these deals that you're living that real, true American dream. And for the passion and love that my whole family has for this sport, I will still be at the racetrack in some shape or form if I never even got to race professionally. Just even up in the stands, just watching it still with my kids, you know. And that's what makes coming out each and every weekend where I race so hard with my team, and all of us share that same passion on our Macro Tools team. And I think that's why we do so well, is because we don't take any race for granted. We give it all we got each and every time, and that's what dreams were built on, is trying to make them a reality. And we work so hard each and every day for that. And I remember thinking as a little kid playing with my cousins underneath the bleacher stands in the sand and sitting on those 2x6 wood bleachers and just looking out at everybody and looking at all the people, how they were cheering, seeing them drink and pass the Budweiser around, the Miller Lite around. Those are the days I remember, you know what I mean? And then coming back and you're looking at it and you're just like, and you're seeing a nitro lit up and everybody just having a good time and enjoying the speed and the thrill of the sport that the sport has to offer. And I just look at it, I was like, man, I'm there. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at. And it's just a beautiful thing. And it breaks me down so much because I remember like it's yesterday. You know what I mean? Because when you have a dream that's so powerful as this, you can remember all those key moments in your life that said, look where I'm at now. This is crazy where I'm at now. And to be out there and rubbing elbows with like Don Perdome the Snake, Kenny Bernstein, Brandon, one of my good friends, Bernstein, and you see John Force, who's really paved the way for this sport, and all those people like Don Schumacher, my team owner, from where he came from and the legacy he has built and the empire he has built in this sport from his passion for it. And his son Tony, 8-time, the winningest top fuel world champ, and to be amongst all the champs in our stables like Hagen, Beckman, Langdon, and you know, and I think Caps is going to get it done this year. So it's something special when you're around all these great people like this that get to live their dream and love the sport the way they do and live in that dream era.
No question about it. Living the dream, 3-time champion of the top fuel ranks. Antron Brown, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and good luck at Pomona. Get number 8, dude.
We're going to try, Mark. We're going to try. Hopefully, if I get to talk to you again, that means that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Driver of the Matco Tools, top fuel dragster, 3-time champion, Antron Brown, joining us on the Straight Line. And when we return, we'll wrap up another great edition of the show.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. More right after this.
If it's time to replace your vehicle's headlights, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts See Better, Drive Safer sale for a twin pack of Sylvania Silver Star Ultra headlights and get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. See farther and more clearly with Silver Star headlights at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dale Jr. here. I wear Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans for any occasion. With new styles and great fits, you'll look good and feel comfortable no matter where you are.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans are designed to keep up with you no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you, so you can go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable all day long.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans, the most comfortable jeans you will ever wear. Try on a pair today.
Wrangler, be comfortable.
Race fans, you know there's nothing like the power, excitement, and sounds of NASCAR. Ever wonder what it would be like to strap yourself in the seat?
Welcome back to the Straight Line, and a big thanks to Antron Brown for joining us on today's show. Hey, didn't want to go away without mentioning one of the craziest things that anybody has seen at a racetrack in a long, long time, and maybe ever. Speaking of Big Daddy's blowover at Englishtown back in the 80s, something fairly similar to that happened this weekend at Las Vegas, and of course I'm talking about the wheelie that Cruz Pedregon pulled during qualifying, or actually during eliminations at Las Vegas. How something like this happens is just mind-blowing to me. All four wheels off the ground at one time. How the body stays on the car, I have no idea. But this is what we're kind of faced with right now in the funny car ranks, is the cars trying to take off with the laid-back headers and much less downforce. And we see it right there. It's proof positive that things are maybe getting to about the edge where they need to be. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if next year we see some tweaks to the rule packages on the funny cars. Hey, very quickly before we go, Robbie Mays, he is 1 year older and 105 pounds lighter. Congratulations, Robbie. So for everybody involved, including Doug and Donald and Daryl, I'm Marty, and we'll talk to you next week.
You've been listening to The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Tune in again next Thursday at noon Eastern on MotorRacingNetwork.com and the MRN app. The Straight Line is the show for drag racing fans and is brought to you by Hercules Tires. This program is also available on demand at the MRN.com Media Center, or you can download it through iTunes or Stitcher. The Straight Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.